How many of us have seen signs at museums that say, "Please touch the artworks," or "Don't be afraid to run your hands on the painting"? For many of us, the answer is no. Signs that say, "Please do not touch," are most commonly seen displayed underneath artworks. This is not meant to be mean or demanding, but rather it is most commonly used to preserve historical pieces. The natural oils on our fingertips can cause the paint and varnish on a painting to deteriorate over time. Even jewelry or fingernails can snag the painting and cause a tear. Thus, art museums have come to enforce the rule to look but not touch for the safety of their collection. Art is meant to move us, though. The mediums, whether it be paint or clay, had to be touched in order for it to be transformed into a piece of artwork. Its purpose being to evoke emotions deep within our hearts, call us to action, and connect strangers. However, the brushstrokes of paintings, or even the details of a marble sculpture, cannot be seen by everyone. Thus, how are those who are visually impaired able to experience the mastery of a Van Gogh painting or a Michelangelo sculpture without allowing visitors to touch the original pieces? We know what the Mona Lisa looks like because we have seen this painting hundreds of times. In fact, you could probably tell me more about the details of her hair, facial features, and clothing before you went into depth about the history of the painting. For Blake Lindsay, who has been blind since he was an infant, he states that he had always wondered what she had looked like. Tomás Bustos and his wife Jacinta made this dream a reality when they started to create 3D sculptures of iconic paintings that those who are visually impaired could touch. Tomás first carves the details of the paintings in clay, and then bronze casts those molds. This allows the once flat canvases to emerge and come to life. Details such as the Mona Lisa's infamous smile, the swirl of the night sky, and even the simple curve of a pearl earring can all be examined and finally seen with the tips of one's fingers. Tomás continues to inspire people to create as he holds ceramic classes tailored for those who are visually impaired.
Months of painstaking work, all for a moment like this.
Beautiful smile.
There's the embroidery. I didn't see that the first time.
For Blake Lindsay, who has been blind since he was an infant, and Keila Alonso, who lost her sight at 12, the experience opened up a whole new world. Describe what it was like experiencing Tomás's Mona Lisa.
It was amazing because I never knew what she looked like.
We see through our fingertips, and so it was really revealing.
Yeah, I really like that bowl.
Both Blake and Keila are also students in Tomás's sculpture class at Envision.
You're going to put it on the palm of your hand. I want you to smash it like this.
A nonprofit aimed at creating opportunities for the blind.
It just makes me feel good about myself.
Lessons in art and in life, built to stand the test of time.
The Prado Museum in Madrid expanded this concept further in their exhibit Touching the Prado. The museum reproduced 6 paintings for this exhibit that encouraged visitors to touch the paintings. Guerrero Surios developed a technique called Dedu that combines special inks and UV light to lift parts of the images and causes textural differences that are part of the paintings. The reproduction of the Mona Lisa cost about $6,000 and 20 days to remake. This allowed visitors to feel the different textures that are seen painted on the canvas, such as folds in fabric, facial features, or landscapes. John Olson furthered this idea of tactile paintings by combining it with audio descriptions. John Olson is a co-founder of 3D PhotoWorks. He had a presentation at the American Alliance of Museums. Their technology that they presented converted any 2D image into a 3-dimensional tactile sculpture. Most of the paintings have a key on the bottom of the image. The key matches a specific texture found on the painting to a button that will read what the texture is, whether it be who the person is and what they are doing in the painting, to a geographical location. It is important to remember that art is not just meant to be seen, it is meant to be created. Teacher Jessica Jones lost her sight due to type 1 diabetes. She continues to teach students who are visually impaired art, and how to explore different mediums.
A really remarkable story about a really remarkable woman, a veteran art teacher, blind for the last decade, and now teaching art to blind students in the Bronx. She may have lost her sight, but the kind of insight she's giving to these kids is bright enough for everyone to see. Here's Amy Freeze.
Some students can be resistant. They don't want to touch paint or feel sticky glue. That is, until they hear the voice of someone who's been where they are.
Make it touch the last piece that you did.
Blind art teacher Jessica Jones says obstacles are quickly cleared when students get a first impression.
You are blind like me, and you're a teacher? They just had never heard.
Inside her class, possibility is real. Her advice is convincing because she's up against the same challenge as her students.
Let me show you a trick. You can take your whole fingers and wrap it around and squeeze.
Ms. Jones says students are inspired to adapt as they learn, and then they're the ones pursuing big ideas.
We want to create like a boat, a ship or something, and not a painting of it, an actual boat.
It's just been wonderful to watch him through the process of making this boat.
While there's a lot of creativity here, Ms. Jones says these projects are really about cognitive development and building confidence for these students. The gallery includes paintings and abstract art, and the creators show appreciation for Ms. Jones' influence.
Creative expression does not stop at painting and sculpture. Music as an art form can be experienced differently by those who are deaf or hard of hearing. Martin Garrix hosted a concert for the deaf community that included vibrating floor panels and vibrating vests, allowing them all to experience the music together.
I'm from a deaf family, so I'm a deaf mom and dad. People say, "You're deaf. You can dance? How?" As a little kid, I would walk up right to the front, right near the bass speakers. Hearing people, they just hear with this part, but with me, it's everything.
When I was little, I picked up my first violin, and I played that violin every single day until the day that I couldn't hear it anymore. One day, I woke up and all of my hearing was gone. And I got all these stacks of CDs that used to sit next to my bed, and I threw them in a bag, and I said, I never want to see these again. Not too long after, we were standing out, and there was a live band playing. I realized that I could feel the bass, and I could feel the drums, and then I realized, I know this song. I can't hear, but I know this song. And so I started dancing, and everyone around me is dancing, and we're all dancing together. And we got home, and my dad handed me a bag full of my CDs, and he said, don't give up.
Seven Up and I today try to find every way possible for deaf people to experience music in an even more intense way. Emotion, vibration, visual-wise. And I got in this room, I stepped on one of those vibrating platforms, and they played a note, and I got scared. They gave me a backpack on which like vibrates the music, which makes the vibration stronger, and it's super cool actually. For me, I've been thinking about which songs I should play, which songs I love the lower frequencies, which songs have like good drive in it. Seven Up and I tonight are gonna involve them in a show in a way they haven't been involved yet. It's gonna be an experience tonight.
Now that I found you.
This is one of the best shows I've ever did.
Coldplay has also been supportive to fans who are hard of hearing by offering sign language interpreters at concerts and also sub-packs with their performances. Sub-packs are a specific brand of vibrating vest that mimic the rhythm and beat of a song through the vibrating panel in the back of the vest. This allows the audience members to all experience the music in real time. The more accessible art is, the more interconnected we become as a society. Having accessible museums acknowledges the fact that the human experience varies from person to person, and we thus must accommodate to that diversity. When someone can take a piece of artwork, whether it be a painting or sculpture, and a person can elicit an emotion from the feeling of the texture of the paint or curvature of the clay, we allow art to transcend its physical form and be a language that every human heart speaks and understands. For what is art but humans' most powerful tool to connect hearts with feeling?